This is Glenn Campbell, speaking to you from southeastern Arizona. Today's topic is the stream of consciousness. We don't know what consciousness is. Both you and I know that we are conscious, that there are thoughts playing in our head, but we don't know how that system works, or where it comes from, or how it got inserted into our brain. We don't know what will happen to our consciousness after we die. All of this is a great mystery. But what is not a mystery is the content of our consciousness. It's just like if you go to the movies, you may not understand how the movie was made. You may not understand how the image is projected on the screen, but you can still follow the storyline. You still know what the movie is saying. It's just like that with consciousness. We don't know where consciousness came from, but we know what our conscious thoughts are at any particular moment. We know the content of our consciousness. No one else knows the content of our consciousness, but we know about it. We know what this movie is that's playing in our head. And to a great extent, we control this movie. Not like a movie that's projected in the movie house, but we control the movie that's playing in our head. If nothing else, we can change our environment. And in changing this environment, we're changing our thoughts. If we're watching TV, we can change our thoughts by changing the channel on the TV. This is all very important because consciousness is a place where we get a lot of work done. We don't know what consciousness is, but if you're smart, you're going to use it for something. We can think about our problems during this conscious movie. If I take a walk right now across this landscape here, I'm going to think thoughts in my head, and I'm going to think about the problems that I'm facing at the moment. If I take a 2-hour walk, I can think about my problems for 2 hours. And by doing that, I'm running through scenarios in my head. I'm planning things in my head. I'm thinking about various things that could go wrong and how to avert them. I'm planning, I'm plotting, I'm planning. And all of this happens during the stream of consciousness. So this is a valuable resource. Whatever consciousness may be, it's a valuable resource that we can't afford to waste. It's just like you've got so many years on this planet to do everything that you can do, but you've also got so many hours or minutes of consciousness to do something with. So if you want to plan your life wisely, you've got to use your consciousness wisely. If you have a big decision to make in your life, then you need to think about it a long time, because that's the chance to model what might happen and to plan for various contingencies, various things that could go right or wrong. You control this consciousness. You control this movie in your head. And this is very important because a lot of people don't control the consciousness in their head. They have consciousness and they have control over how it flows, but they don't use that control. If you turn on a TV, your consciousness is being controlled by that TV show that you're watching. And if you're watching TV for 3 hours, that's 3 hours that you're not devoting to resolving your problems. You can't throw away your consciousness. Today, you're going to have 14 or 16 hours of conscious resource at your disposal. Every minute that you're spending concentrating on something else is pulling away from your resource to solve other things. You control where your thoughts are going. It's obviously that you can do it by changing your venue, by changing the channel. But if you're staring at a wall for in your room for an hour, you can also control those thoughts. People don't think they can. People think that thoughts are just being thrown at them. But you can decide right now that I've got a big problem ahead of me and I'm going to think about this problem. And you can parcel out your time, just like a computer programmer will say that a certain amount of computer programming time is going to be devoted to this problem and this problem. You can decide that something is worth your attention and worth cogitating about. If you, it's sort of like a cow who eats some grass and then can regurgitate it and chew on it some more. As far as we know, only humans can do this. Only humans can have experiences and then dredge them back in memory and reanalyze those experiences. This is the valuable thing that makes us intelligent, and it's also the thing that makes smart people smart and dumb people dumb. Smart people are people who think about their problems before they act. Dumb people are people who just act. So consider this simple fact that you have control over the conscious stream. You're not a victim of it. You can take control of how your thoughts are going to unfold. And by doing so, you can muster your resources in directions that you think are productive. Or you can be like most people and just be a victim of other people's thoughts. You can watch TV. You can have an iPod in your ear. You can read books. You can keep every moment of your waking day occupied with someone else's thoughts, in which case you accomplish nothing. So it's up to you. If you're smart, you're going to take control of your own conscious process and use it for something